Well, cheers and welcome to another episode of Church Folk in the Cafe Getting Coffee. I'm Pastor Daniel, and this is my guest, Pastor Bryan Moore. Bryan, how we doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm doing good.
You love being on front of camera. So
I love it. My favorite thing in the world.
Absolutely.
So it should be fun.
So Bryan, who are you named after?
I am named after my uncle, I think.
Okay.
My uncle, my dad's brother is named Bryan, but we
right.
call him Kent, so I don't know where Kent came from.
So can we call you Kent? Is that a good nickname?
I kind of like Kent because
Yeah.
it's Superman, Clark Kent. so-
Absolutely. Have you had any nicknames growing up or anything maybe
my
your kids
God.
call you?
I don't know if I should tell you this.
Well, Janet
it's not
was Pooh Bear a couple weeks ago.
It's not flattering, but one of my nicknames was Birdman.
Birdman.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I never saw it personally, but it caught on. So.
Okay, cool. Tell me about your family. Tell me about, you grew up here in Conroe, right?
I grew up in Conroe. My family still lives here, my parents and brother, and I've lived here since I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
Moved from Houston on up, and so love the area, and it's good to be living back home around family.
Absolutely. And you are married way above your station.
Way above my,
To Christy?
I married up to Christy Moore. Yep, love of my life.
And you got
two
kiddos?
Two girls, Rachel and Evelyn, and one on the way.
Yeah.
Adoption, not pregnant.
I'm about to say, is this news to Christy? No, I'm just kidding. No, you guys are in the adoption process.
We are in the adoption
which is really
process.
great.
Yeah, we're super excited.
And the staff and everyone's joining you in prayer
Thank you.
for all of that. So tell me a little bit of a rapid fire. What's your favorite hot drink?
Hot drink, coffee, of course.
Black coffee, coffee with cream, sugar. What do you like?
A little. I like a little coffee with my cream.
A little coffee
Sugar.
with your cream,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And what about your favorite cold drink?
Oh my gosh. The first thing that popped in my mind was a Monster, but I know my wife is gonna hate hearing that, so
Yes.
I'll go with water.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, you're gonna go with Diet
You could
Monster.
cut out Monster out,
Yeah, there you go. Okay, what's your favorite kind of music?
90s alternative rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we
yeah.
go. All
When I'm
right.
at church, I listen to only Christian.
For a
Only
whole
worship.
subset of the population watching this, do not start looking into 90s alternative rock. But that is the music of our teenage
That
years.
is the music of,
What's the last movie you saw?
the new Jurassic Park.
Did you like it?
I did.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good seeing
You have
all the
a
old
dinosaur-obsessed daughter. Did she
characters.
see
I
it?
do. No, that one, she only saw the first one, and that was because Mom was out of town.
Yeah.
And she found out about it and was not happy, so.
Yeah,
A little violent, and the little one was scared after.
Yeah, my daughter got a little bloodthirsty after watching the first one. What about your favorite book?
Favorite book, I like David Baldacci books
Okay.
and C.J. Box novel books,
Yeah.
so those types.
Is that like a mystery, crime?
It's like crime, mystery, terrorism, anything of
So
that
like
nature.
kind of like real life for you,
Real
right?
life, yeah.
Real life
My
stories.
secret identity.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. What are some of your favorite hobbies? Things you like to do? What do you do to recharge, man?
I like watching movies. I like camping. It's probably number one. I like strumming my guitar. I like playing basketball.
You guys go camping quite a bit.
Quite a bit, yeah. We
Yeah.
have a pop-up. We got
Yeah.
one during COVID, and it was probably the best thing for our family.
Are you all using your pop-up when you go to Yellowstone?
No, we're not going to Yellowstone anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
What a bummer.
But no, we wouldn't. We normally, it's too far, but we normally do it at state parks around Texas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where is the farthest place you've ever traveled?
India.
India.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did mission there for about a month straight with my best friend from seminary.
Was that after seminary? Or was it while you were already in
That was
full-time
during
ministry?
seminary.
Okay.
That was during seminary one summer. So
Yeah.
it was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think I'm going a little farther
Singapore.
in this trip that I'm on. Let's see. What's your favorite food?
Tex-Mex.
And what's your favorite restaurant in town?
Seven Leg was.
Yeah. Is that the one down off 105?
That's the one down on 105.
Almost April
by
Sound?
April Sound. That's
Yeah.
kind of our meetup spot for my family.
Oh,
My
okay,
parents,
cool.
once a week
Cool.
We meet there.
If you had the opportunity to have a meal with 3 people,
Yeah.
whether living or dead, who would join you at your table?
Oh my gosh. Who would join me? Living or dead? Apostle Paul.
Okay.
Love Paul. Maybe Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
And let's say Martin Luther King Jr.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty great
Oh,
group of
I
folks.
probably should have said John Wesley, right?
Yeah, John
That
Wesley.
would've been good.
I keep saying I don't think John Wesley would be a very good dinner guest.
No,
No. I don't know about Paul
You'd have
either,
me on
but-
my knees
Yeah.
repenting. but,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Do you connect on social media?
I'm a browser, but
Okay.
I don't really put stuff out there.
You observe.
I observe.
You like.
Yeah.
You don't. but you
Exactly.
do.
I don't participate.
Now on your phone, do you have any phone apps that you could not live without?
Phone apps. Oh my gosh. Not really.
Okay. You just throw your phone away. You don't care. No big deal. All right. Cool. Brian, would you sing at a karaoke night?
Absolutely.
Okay. I thought you were about to say absolutely not.
I used to sing karaoke in my college years.
Nice.
Yeah, and actually,
Is that how you got the nickname Birdman, or is that something completely different?
Actually, 2 birthdays ago, I had a karaoke party for my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, Brian, would you rather have a fast forward, a pause, or a rewind button on your life?
Probably a pause.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're going through a really amazing time, a fun time, a good time, you just kind of want to stay there.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's nice just to say, let's just enjoy the moment, and
That's
not
good.
rush to the next thing.
Well, we're going to pause right now for our end of our first round.
Cheers.
Cheers to round one. I think we almost shattered the cups there. Brian showed up with a terrible plastic or paper cup, and Herson made sure he had a cool one. Mine has a Henry Nouwen quote on it: "We have to choose joy and keep choosing it." So I love that, because sometimes it's not easy to choose joy every day. Okay, the second round has to do with your history and your faith and the church. So tell me about that. Did you grow up in the church?
I did not. I did not go to church until college, really. I mean, I went occasionally with friends in high school and stuff, but I didn't become a Christian until college.
Okay.
God radically changed my life. I was, into some things that was just dark and destructive, and God, kind of like Apostle Paul, God showed up in my life and redeemed me, and
it was a Damascus moment.
It was a Damascus moment, absolutely.
Yeah. And how did you find your way to the Methodist church?
So I got saved in a Baptist church.
Okay.
And that church had a church split, and so the life group I was a part of disbanded, and so I came here because I had, which I really didn't know at the time, my aunt and my cousin was going to this church.
Okay.
And so I just started coming here. And so I was a member of this church even before I went to seminary and even started.
Oh, I didn't
doing
know
ministry.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's kind of like a little bit like Pastor Jeff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. And so you went to seminary at Asbury.
Seminary at Asbury.
When, at what point did you feel the stirring of God's call that you wanted, that God was calling you to do this with your full-time ministry?
Yeah. So it was obviously, nothing that I ever had on my radar doing ministry or any of that. But I started doing youth ministry, volunteer work in a church plant in East Conroe.
Okay.
And I did that for about 5 years. And at the same time, I was working in IT because that was my career. That was my undergrad.
That's why they always have you doing stuff here.
Yeah,
every once in a while?
exactly. Okay. So let's not broadcast that to the congregation.
Right. Not available for at-home IT visits.
So, the more that I began doing ministry and got the chance to disciple teenagers, that's really what I was passionate about. The more that my passion for working in IT and doing web development was just, so I found myself more and more spending time serving the church and less, which caused problems in my job that I was doing. But after just doing that, the pastor that I was serving under encouraged me to consider going to seminary, and I prayed about it and visited Asbury. And I just felt like once I stepped foot on that campus, that's where I needed to go.
You had that confirmation.
I had that confirmation, and just more confirmations that I was to enter into full-time ministry.
That's awesome.
So I did.
And how long have you been serving in full-time ministry?
Been serving for about 11 years.
Okay. And you were in Galveston before you came here.
So I went to Galveston for 3.5 years before coming here, and then got the opportunity to come back home.
Yeah, that's awesome. So great.
Yeah.
What's your favorite book of the Bible?
Favorite book of the Bible? Oh,
and no, you can't say you like them all.
Yeah. I really
not everybody likes all of them.
Yeah.
There are some of them that are little.
I really like the Gospel of John.
Yeah.
I just think it presents a unique perspective on Jesus' divinity, and I love the stories, and I love his teaching, and there's just so many great things, the I am statements, and you really see Jesus as Lord and Jesus as God come out.
So other than Jesus, which Bible character do you most identify with? Which one do you think their story is a little bit like your story?
Oh, wow. I would say I've always liked David, the character David, not because I'm a great leader or a mighty warrior or anything like that, but because he's a worshiper.
Yeah.
And that's how I connect best with God.
That's what I was going to ask, as far as the means of grace, is that the way you best connect?
That is, worship, singing. So I just like, when I pick up a guitar and just sing a song or just sing to the Lord, and I felt like, that's David. He was a worshiper of the Lord and wrote so many great, psalms, and so I kind of connect with him.
That's awesome.
I love his story too.
What if you got the opportunity to ask God one question?
Yeah.
What would you ask?
Oh my gosh, what would I ask God? Why mosquitoes?
Okay, that's becoming a common question.
Is it? I mean, what's the point of a mosquito? Or a snake?
If you know the point of mosquitoes or snakes, well, snakes I think could eat rats. I don't like snakes
that's
either.
True, that's
but
true.
If you want to talk to Bryan about the point of mosquitoes, feel free to do so. We are done with round 2. So here we go. Let's go on to round 3. All right. This one's going to be all about things First Methodist Conroe. So first of all, what do you love about being a Methodist?
Well, I love the way that Methodists view God's salvation.
Okay.
And God's love.
Yeah.
God's love is available to all. All people can be saved if they choose. So I love that that salvation doesn't just stop at I accept Jesus and now I can just continue on and live my life. But there's more. There's the process of sanctification. And that God wants to change us and restore us into the full image of
Wesley
Christ.
talks about salvation as a house, right? There's that front porch that draws you in, which is that prevenient grace, and then the moment that you walk through the door is justifying grace. It's saying yes to what God's already done for you. And the rest of the Christian life is like exploring the house.
I know.
Growing closer and closer to God.
Right. Why just stay on the porch when there's so much to explore and grow and
Absolutely.
see?
Absolutely. And what do you love about First Methodist Conroe?
Man, I love the people here. They're just so welcoming, so kind. Even though this is kind of a medium-sized church, and I hear this all the time to people that I meet that are new or that become members, that they just feel like this is home, like this is a family.
Yeah.
So I love that family feel. I love the vision of the church, this idea of life better together. To me, that is so core to what I believe to be part of the Christian faith, is that we don't just come here on Sunday mornings and then just live our lives independently from the body of Christ, but that we try to connect in and we are in ministry to one another.
So if you had one hope, one wish, one thing that you hope for every member of First Methodist Conroe, what would it be?
I would say that I would hope that they find that connection, that community with other believers, that they can really develop relationships, that they can share joys and concerns with, that they can be in ministry to one another, that they can serve together. I mean, it's just that community, that relationship that I feel like is what the church has to offer this world that is just isolated, alone, looking for community, looking for purpose.
Well, that's good stuff. Yeah. Well, this has been Church Folk in the Cafe getting coffee. Bryan, it is good to do life better together with you.
Amen. Same with you.